Sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, little baby gon' shake that, 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 shit, yeah, I like that, bring that right here, sit that, right there, don't go nowhere, say yeah, I like that, bring that right here, sit that, right there, don't go nowhere, baby gon'.
Welcome back. We back with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to, who is this? Stay Awake. Hold on. Let me be accurate. Stay Awake, Crime and Psychology. Killer husband realizes wife is still breathing. Man, let's get into it.
In the early morning hours of Valentine's Day 2019, a woman named Olivia Jones walked the aisles of a local supermarket known as HEB Plus in preparation for dinner with her husband, Chris. As she gathered the ingredients, she observed a bouquet of pink and red roses, colors that symbolize tenderness and passion. As Olivia exited the store with the roses in her cart, she was unaware that in less than 40 minutes, she would be dead. A horrible consequence of so-called toxic love. The police would find her on her bedroom floor in a quiet neighborhood in Beaumont, Texas. 11 minutes earlier, her loving husband, Chris, dialed 911.
Beaumont 911, what is the address of your emergency?
Please, hurry. I want to take the gun.
Tell me what's going on.
I'm at home, right beside the head. Please.
Somebody shot in the head.
My wife, please.
Tell me, where is she shot?
In the head.
Okay, where in the head?
Take it and it went off.
Okay. I want you to try to control the bleeding.
As soon as the call disconnected, officers headed on their way to the Beaumont, Texas home of Chris and Olivia, located at 5575 Pine Bur Boulevard. At 8:55 a.m., they arrived. Officer Otis Butler was met by a familiar face, 40-year-old Christopher Ray Jones, who was visibly distressed. Officer Butler was close friends with Chris and his wife, Olivia. His body cam was rolling while Chris urged the officers to hurry into the house.
Wait.
Distressed. Officer Butler was close friends with Chris and his wife, Olivia. His body cam was rolling while Chris urged the officers to hurry into the house.
Should he have been sent
In the bedroom, broken down on the dresser. Come this way.
Okay.
after you shot her in the head? What are you gonna try to make it seem like it was you and y'all? It definitely wasn't you and I, brother.
Please, come this way. Okay. Please.
As alluded to earlier, the officers made their way to the bedroom and found Olivia lying on the floor, found face down with a gunshot wound to the back of her head. Astonishingly, she was still breathing. When the officers rolled her over, they discovered that the bullet had pierced through her right eye. The room she was found in was covered in blood, with spatter all over the walls. The paramedics arrived, and while they tended to Olivia, the police secured the area. Officer Butler had Chris walk him through the events leading up to the shooting.
What happened? We had a disagreement, and I say, baby, if you're not working with me, you're working against me. I say, we've been doing this. My 19-year-old stepdaughter.
He just said, I took it, pal. Brother, what? Now, I'm not an expert, but I don't think that's how guns work. I took it, pal. I took it, pulled trigger. What? How do you, never mind. But I gotta see the height differences. How do you accidentally shoot her in the head? Accidentally. Because that's what you're making it seem like. It was an accident. How do you accidentally? Alright.
So when you grabbed it and went off, she yanked. I grabbed it and she yanked back. And the gun went off.
Okay.
The gun went off.
Chris's story immediately set off red flags. How could such a large man be overpowered by his significantly smaller wife? Chris dropped to his knees in anguish, but there were no tears as he asked
I fell down to my knee when the law came. What is you doing right now? You putting on a performance, brother. I'm not. No one's going for this.
Officer Butler if he could go check on Olivia.
Mr. Butler, I got help.
Oh, no. You don't need to go in there.
What help? Boy, you ain't no goddamn paramedic.
Yeah, she is.
She is.
Got him.
Is she alive, Mr. Butler?
When that-
Please don't tell me she's alive if she's not.
Yeah, when I
If he didn't say that last line, I was about to say, nigga, is you confessing right now? Ain't you supposed to wait till you get to the precinct? What the fuck? What?
That's all she was. She was talking?
she wasn't talking.
Is she breathing?
It looked like she was breathing. Yeah.
Ooh, good.
Like, don't go in there, sir.
Please.
Sir, I need you to stay right here with me, okay? And calm down.
Calm down.
Upon learning that Olivia was still breathing, Chris's reaction seemed strangely devoid of relief or happiness.
what?
Another red flag for Officer Butler. Back inside the home, Olivia's wounds proved to be fatal, and just after 9 a.m., she was pronounced dead. Officers searched the rest of the home and noticed that in addition to the surveillance cameras installed on the exterior of the house, there were 2 more cameras mounted in the living room, monitoring the interior of the house as well. They also discovered the gun that Olivia was shot with, a 9mm pistol covered in blood. However, they found it strange that the gun was in a different room from where the shooting took place. If Olivia was holding the gun when it went off, how did it end up in a different room? The only logical answer was that Chris...
Bro, that man like 6'4". Shorty like 5'6", 5'7". You telling me you had the gun? No, you telling me she had the gun. Whether it was pointed at you or in the vicinity. Telling me she had gun in hand. You then proceed to grab the gun out of her hand. And you shoot her in the head. How? If you grab the gun, you would grab up, not down, I would assume, right? That way, if it does go off, it goes off in the air. Like, bro, you clearly grab gun and aim downward at her. What? If y'all was the same height, I'd be like, oh, okay, maybe. Like, bro, no.
must have moved it. Following this discovery, the officers decided that the best course of action was to detain Chris until they had a better understanding of what really happened. As Chris was getting handcuffed, his 19-year-old daughter, Arielle, arrived at the house. She had already been contacted by Chris, who told her what had happened. She was clearly devastated.
Control the crime scene.
While the officers tried to console Arielle, Chris was escorted to the back of a police cruiser. Lead Detective Mendy Freeman and Sergeant Yvette Barrero of the Forensics Unit arrived at the residence and were immediately caught up to speed.
According to him, she grabs a 9mm in their bedroom. And she did that. He claims he reached for the gun to try to get it from her. And when he reached for it, and they struggle over it, boom.
At that moment, Olivia's sister Angela arrived at the scene, and Arielle once again broke out into hysterics. All of the evidence was collected and sent to the crime lab. Chris was brought down to the station where they took photos of his hands still covered in blood.
They're waiting for the lead detectives. They're going to be the ones that actually interview you, so...
When the detectives finally arrived at the station, they started Chris's interview by asking him what caused the argument. He said that he felt as if Olivia wasn't pulling her weight in the relationship.
I am very particular. If you heard that, that's true. I am very particular. You strive for the best for people. I work really hard, and I don't make excuses for myself, and I don't accept excuses for anybody else.
After telling her that he wanted a divorce, she went to the bedroom and grabbed the gun.
What did you say?
Really? You serious? Really? This is not going to solve anything.
Okay.
You know, you do not want to do that. Put that freaking gun down before you make a mistake and hurt yourself. She was crying. She was crying.
Chris handed over his cell phone, which had access to the home security camera footage.
Say you want to access just that camera. You touch that. And that's just that camera. Okay. You follow what I'm saying? So far. Let's go back to devices. Yes, sir. And everything is labeled. Carport, backyard, front door, back door, laundry room, side garage, living room, kitchen.
The police examined this footage, hoping to corroborate Chris's story. At 8:41 a.m., Olivia can be seen going about her morning routine in the kitchen. Then, all of a sudden, the footage cuts out. 3 minutes later, at 8:44 a.m., the video is back up, and Chris is captured frantically pacing around the house while on the phone with 911. 11 minutes later, at 8:55 a.m., the responding officers can be seen entering the residence. That means that Olivia must have been shot during this 3-minute gap in the footage. In the interrogation...
Why would there be no recordings on it? I don't know. It should be. Everybody that went in that house should be on it. But like I said, the internet, you can go through days and it pretty much does it. We shouldn't have bought that. You just keep, like, you can pick.
That man gonna blame the security company instead of him being a crash out. I ain't never heard no dumbass shit like this in my life. Like, bro, you could just take the L, bro. You made a lifelong mistake, bro. Just take the L, and I do mean life. The charge of life. Take it. What?
Pick whatever day you want, and it's never gonna be consistent. That's why I said it was a waste of money.
Well, I'm wanting desperately to find some video on here that corroborates what you're telling us, but almost all the videos start right after this event happened.
Chris had a bunch of excuses, from internet problems to not charging the camera properly, but at this point, the detectives were taking anything Chris said with a grain of salt. It seemed more likely that Chris, the only one with access to the footage, had tampered with it. Since they did not have the video, they had Chris reenact the moment that he tried to disarm Olivia.
Now go ahead and do my initial. She pulls it.
Oh, I gotta
tampered with it. Since they did not have the video, they had Chris reenact the moment that he tried to disarm Olivia.
Now go ahead and do my initial. She pulls it. Give me the. Okay. And I go.
Moment that
I'm confused. Is that supposed to be the weapon? Her hand closed supposed to be the weapon? Seems like her hand's on the handle of the gun, not okay. All right.
He tried to disarm Olivia.
Now go ahead and do my initial. She pulls it. Give me the.
I mean, if you grabbing her arm and not her wrist, which would be shooting said gun.
She loved her baby so much. She thought she had to live for them. She would never.
Angela went on to reveal the extent of Chris's control over Olivia.
She can't talk on the phone after a certain time. He controlled the finances. He never wanted to be in the presence of her family. Family reunions, anything, he never came. But she would have to step off, and when I just don't get it. Because all she wanted, my sister was a married type. All she wanted was to be loved. Yeah. She loved love. Like, she loved her babies. She wanted to live for her babies.
To make matters worse, Chris's ex-wife Letitia, who he initially met back in 1999, corroborated his pattern of controlling and aggressive behavior.
I met Chris Jones in 1999. It was just like a constant fight. Like, he choked me out, drug me through the house. My skin was missing off my back. One time he bit my hand. He had this bite marks in my hand. This was what it was. If the house not clean, he's told me that he would kill me if I was to ever leave him. Told me how he would do it. The reason I never said anything or went for help was because I was extremely in fear of my life. Because I knew and I felt in my heart that he would kill me.
And most damning of all were the allegations made by Olivia's daughter Arielle during her interview. She explained what it was like living at the house with her mom and Chris.
One time they were arguing and I heard her say she couldn't breathe. I would see bruises on her. It broke her down to the point where she believed what he said.
Oh,
You won't be nothing without me, stuff like that. Right. Everybody knows my mom. Everybody knows my mom. Everybody knows that we were her world.
With each person interviewed, the allegations against Chris were stacking higher and higher. They doubled back with him, urging him to tell the truth about what actually happened to the missing footage.
No, no, no. I'm not even the prosecutor, and I'm a painting like this is premeditated. Not only was it premeditated, he knew the exactly where the evidence was to hide anything that's going on. He tried to paint it as a common passion, but he's been doing this for a long time now, and there's multiple accounts of abuse being had. Like, I'm cooking this nigga. I'm putting him in the deep fryer, and I'm cooking this man. I'm sorry. You don't get to say, oh, I look guilty. You might as well tell the truth right now, bro, because I ain't gonna lie. The prosecutor gonna do you way worse than any of these investigators can. Nigga gonna cook.
You did some stuff I shouldn't have done. Is that one of them?
Yes.
How many did you delete?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just afraid of being blamed for something I did do something that looks really bad on me.
While the confession was a much-needed win for the detectives, there was still no trace of those crucial 3 minutes of footage. However, the detectives did their due diligence. They spent the days combing through all available footage from the house to see for themselves what daily life was like for the Jones family. In these recordings, the true nature of Chris and Olivia's relationship was on full display.
You should leave all of it. Slap her.
Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the floor, wife. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the... Why is that like that? You're not paying attention.
What? What's wrong on the floor?
Put my hand.
Okay, leave.
You wasn't worried about the son of a bitch a minute ago. That's your mother. Don't look at me like that, bitch. I'm not playing with you. Lazy. You want to do something, not enough? Give it here. You got all the goddamn answers. You don't do a goddamn thing around this. Right. This your ass, bitch. That's clean dish. That's clean.
I didn't want to. They fell on the floor, so I didn't want to reuse them.
You look at it. You don't pay attention to what the fuck you doing. You all over the place, Olivia. You ain't got the chance to claim no f***ing off. Food on the wall. Who you burning now?
Me.
Harriet don't live here. It's you. It's always been you.
Chris would take any chance that he could to bully
I really want to know if it was really her though. Like, gang, what if it was really him? And he's gaslighting her and is saying, yeah, it was me. What? See, this is the dangers of gaslighting. When these motherfuckers in the media or social media or internet nowadays be saying that the motherfucker be gaslighting them, y'all niggas be sucking. Like, bro, y'all niggas just be saying shit. Like, y'all love misclassifying things. But they're not gaslighting you. They're just lying, and you're an idiot. But in this instance, no, this nigga is literally, yeah, bro, no, I'm going to tell you in a very loud manner that it's you. It's always been you. It's always been your fault. Like, bro, damn, like, I must not be shit. You gonna start to think of that, especially if you hear it year in, year out. Like, come on, bro, you tripping.
Olivia, constantly putting her worth into question, even humiliating her in front of her own daughter.
When I got the show ass, you didn't have a job. You collected unemployment. You just had off. And most men in this world want a woman that got what? You wouldn't be doing this if I wouldn't have got upset. You would have bagged it
for the company.
Life would be so much easier for me if you start thinking. You do dumb because you don't think.
This footage shed light on Chris's true colors and confirmed the allegations of abuse from Olivia's family. Detectives also looked into Chris's criminal records and discovered that he had a history of violent charges, including multiple assaults in 1996 and a domestic assault in 1998, which landed him in jail for a brief period of time. Even though they were still waiting for ongoing forensic analysis results, authorities believed that they had enough evidence to place charges against Chris.
News this morning, a Beaumont man is now facing murder charges in a Valentine's Day shooting of his wife. Police say this man, Christopher Ray Jones, who worked as a correctional counselor at the Beaumont Federal Prison, killed his wife, Olivia.
Chris was charged with first-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter in April of 2019. But unexpectedly, within 24 hours after being charged,
Wait, manslaughter?
he was
killed his wife, Olivia.
Chris was charged with first-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter in April of 2019. But unexpectedly, within 24 hours after being charged, he was released on a $150,000 bond and was put under house arrest with a GPS monitor.
Now, a man charged with murdering his wife is back at their home.
40-year-old Christopher Ray Jones was arrested and charged with shooting his wife in the face on Valentine's Day. His bond was set at $150,000. He paid and is now out.
Many taking to social media to voice their concerns, stating things like, "Can't believe he's out on a $150,000 bond. That's crazy. What's wrong with our system?" And "Can't believe they would make his bond so low that he got out. He should not be walking the streets."
That's the real
While
question.
out on bail, Christopher was allowed to continue operating the Jones family business, a food truck called One Plate at a Time. The judge...
I take back everything I said about that food being good. I lied. Nigga, you got me like, bro, ain't nobody eating that murder food, eh? Like, bro, no. Why would I eat that food? I saw you with the blood of your wife on your hands. Some things you will never wash away. Come on, man.
allowed Chris to work while out on bail since the food truck is directly beside his home. However, this decision was controversial amongst Olivia's family and the community. They knew Chris was the only person with Olivia at the time of her death, and they all seemed to believe that he had killed her.
This food truck on Concord Road in Beaumont is a hot topic on social media. It's not generating rave reviews from many, but condemnation from a grieving family.
I don't see how would anyone want to support someone who murdered their wife on Valentine's Day, which is a day that we are supposed to celebrate love, and that he was going to celebrate that with him. He decides to take her life.
Chris's image was tainted even further when the results from the crime lab came in. The bloodstain patterns at the crime scene indicated that the gunshot wound could not have happened in the way that Chris described it. Additionally, investigators found no gunshot residue on Olivia's hands, indicating that there was no way she was holding the gun when it went off. There was, however, gunshot residue on Chris's hands and clothing. Despite all of the evidence pointing towards Chris, he pled not guilty to his charges. But before his trial would take place, Olivia's family held a gathering to honor her memory.
This Valentine's Day,
Praying for you. Thank you.
purple and red balloons filled Rogers Park.
Purple means domestic violence, and red was one of her favorite colors.
1 year ago today, Joshua Simmons lost his sister.
Valentine's Day was one of her favorite holidays.
I would give almost anything to have her back right now.
What's this year been like for you and your family?
If you can wrap it up in one word, it would be frustrating.
Frustrated with the fact that Jones isn't behind bars. Now the family wants to raise awareness for domestic violence, but more than anything, they want justice for Olivia.
We're wanting him to spend the rest of his life in prison, while my sister spend the rest of her life in the grave.
After finally having an opportunity to celebrate Olivia's life, her loved ones would once again have to face her death during Chris's upcoming trial. The courtroom was packed with family members from both sides. It had been over 3 years since Olivia's death, and despite the clear tension between the two families, they all wanted the same thing: justice for Olivia. Prosecutors Jimmy Ham and Mike Laird described Chris as an abusive partner with a violent past, and it was only a matter of time before something like this happened. Chris's defense attorney, Ryan Gertz, argued that Chris only grabbed the gun because Olivia was recklessly handling the weapon, putting both herself and Chris in a dangerous predicament. Forensic pathologist Celestina Rossi provided critical bloodstain analysis and confirmed that Olivia did not have any gunshot residue on her, contradicting the defense's claims that her death was merely an accident. The testimonies and evidence combined ultimately overpowered the defense team, and on February 8th, 2022, Christopher Ray Jones was
That nigga got the Gumby. That nigga think he Bobby.
Found guilty for the murder of his wife, Olivia Jones.
1,118 days. That's how long Olivia Jones's family says they've waited for this moment. The moment when Olivia's husband, Christopher Jones, was found guilty of murder. Olivia died at the hands of her husband on Valentine's Day 2019, and instead of spending a lifetime behind bars,
we elected to agree with the state to a 30-year sentence because of the potential risk of, an even higher sentence.
In exchange.
So you gave him a plea deal for for a 30 ball. Granted, the nigga looked 50. The nigga looked bad. He looked like Wesley Snipes when the nigga just came out of jail the first time. Bro, you look bad, bro. But 30. Bro, you might as well just throw the book at it, ugly ass, gremlin looking ass.
Change, Christopher waived his right to appeal the conviction. After the judge handed down this sentence, Olivia and Christopher's 2 daughters took the stand. Looking directly at their father, they described the impact of Olivia's death. The youngest daughter, who was only 11 when her mother died, said, quote, "I'll forgive you one day, but right now I can't." Throughout the trial, the prosecution described a history of abuse that finally blew up. Defense attorney Ryan Getz argued a different version of events.
I think that we'll never know what happened in that room. Ultimately, my impression from the jurors is that they just didn't believe Chris's version of events, and that really only left the one alternative.
This was an emotional day for Olivia's family. As they were leaving the courtroom, they were encouraging each other, saying, "Today was all about Olivia, and she won."
Christopher Jones is currently serving his sentence in the John M. Wynn Unit in Huntsville, Texas.
I was right, Texas. I don't know if he got more to say, but that is the video. That is the end of the video. I can't remember what. Okay, this was Stay Awake, Crime and Psychology. I really wish we could have gotten to the mental of this insane person. I mean, besides the fact that he was just abusing her, like, why are you doing this? Did you feel inept? That's why you was doing that? Like, was it your inadequacies, or was it just like you had temperament issues? You didn't know how to control your anger nor voice it? I don't know. It's probably a lot of things that go into being crazy enough to kill your own wife. But that's the end of this story. Rest in peace to Olivia. Condolences to the family. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Share your thoughts on the video in the comment section below. Also, hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on the videos that I drop on this channel. Stay safe, y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one.
I'm a cowboy, can't stop me, ain't to live is to come. All this pain got me feeling accomplished. See, these games turn me into a monster. Hey, I'm a cowboy, can't stop me, to live is to come. All this pain got me feeling accomplished. See, these games turn me into a monster. I'm a cowboy, can't stop. Hey, all that pain got me feeling jaded. Many to roll when to make it. Still plugged into the mix, but lagging out before the update. Drop back in, different town, same location.